Welcome. So this is the Conservation Commission meeting Thursday, July 22nd, 2021. This meeting, hearing of the Ayer Conservation Commission will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting/hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. Zoom information for this meeting can be obtained by contacting Joanne Christoph, Conservation Administrator, at CONCOM@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 143, or Cindy Knox, IT Director, at CKNOX@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 150. This meeting will be recorded and air on Channel 8 and airpublicaccess.org the following day. All right. Okay, with that then we'll move on to general business. The approval of the meeting minutes. Has everybody read the minutes?
Confirmation of the agenda first. It's not on there, but.
Okay. Let's do that first then.
Let's do that first, yeah.
Thank you. So we will do confirmation of the agenda. Regarding the agenda, one thing I would like to suggest is we move the non-point source pollution brochure mailing up to the second item. Anticipating that we'll have some, pretty good discussion on some of the later items.
Yes.
If everybody's okay with that. Hopefully it should only take a minute or two anyways.
Yep. And then the other item we need to amend is the public meeting request for COC 217 West Main Street.
Okay.
We did not actually receive that request,
Okay.
so they won't be here tonight.
Okay. And since it's a meeting, we don't have to vote on changing that, but we do have to vote on adjusting the agenda, correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you have a motion to amend the agenda and approve it as amended?
Yes.
So moved.
Seconded.
Thank you. I'm not going to call out who approved it and seconded it, right? We don't need to do that?
No, because Jess will keep track of that.
Awesome. Thank you.
If it's unanimous.
I always keep track.
And we,
Unless Jen votes against it.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, agenda's approved as amended. All right, with that, we will now go on to the approval of meeting minutes. Any issues with the minutes that anybody had? They'd like to find the meeting.
Did you get my tiny edits?
I made a couple corrections based on Joanne being extraordinarily picky. On the first page, instead of it saying that Jeff Thomas displayed photos, they were Joanne's photos, so I changed it to CA displayed photos of the vegetation at Sandy Pond Beach. And on the second page, under the CR for Solar 2, I changed it to the one that's most in search. However, the Oxbow survey dealt only with the wetlands and bank in the area of the proposed stream crossing and with the solar array area itself.
I don't even think it was the solar array area itself. I think it was just the BVW and the bank.
I put in your email solar array too.
Okay. Well, if I did, I apologize.
Okay, so I'll just take out that one. I'll make that correction.
Okay.
Amended and corrected, I would say. Okay.
Jen, did you have any edits?
Nope, they were perfect, except for those things.
Good point. All right, do I have a motion to accept the Minutes as amended and corrected.
And these are the minutes for July 8th
Sorry,
and seconded.
for July 8th. Thank you. Yes, July 8th.
First time.
Yeah, July 8th, fucking 14 months. Yeah. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
I,
Opposed? All right, minutes are approved. And do we have a payables report?
We have a payables report. I think you all have one, and I don't seem to have given myself one. We had a few things to pay. It should be right under the agenda, Jess, if it...
I've got a couple of these.
You got it good.
Yeah, probably. This was a lot of paper to wrangle. So we paid water and wetland for the third task, I believe, of our pond treatment season. We had some office supplies for our new senior work-off staff person. And we paid for the beaver deceiver at the West Main Street culvert.
Okay. The water and wetland one, seems like a long time since the invoice date. Is there, like, it took 2 months to pay it? Ish?
We didn't get it. This had an invoice date of May, but we didn't get it. I try really hard to turn these things right around.
Dated but not received. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they did their treatments in June, so I'm not sure, I mean, maybe they forgot to change the date, but they wouldn't have billed us for those treatments.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I'll double check that.
Okay.
The date on that anyway. And their invoice is very unusual. It's the most complicated invoice I have ever seen. It's actually hard to find the amount that you're supposed to pay. I'll show it to you.
Okay. All right. We have a motion to approve the payables report as supplied here by Joanne.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I,
Opposed? All right. The payables report is approved unanimously. All right, moving on to the next item on the agenda, we have a discussion on the waterways sign project and the work plan. Do you have updates for us?
The one update I have is that our graphic design artist, Kim Becker, said that she couldn't do our design project for the $125 that we budgeted, and that she would give us an estimate of what she could do it for, and you've got that in your packet, $300
Okay.
to design 10 signs.
And did you have to check what we did allocate in our budget estimate for?
125.
It was 125?
Yeah.
If we go over, I would think for this, we could use the wetlands fund to make up for, because that's any shortfalls. It's educational, serving, yeah.
Any other comments from anybody? Jen?
no, sounds fine.
Jess, you recommend pulling the 175 from our wetlands fund?
If we need to,
Okay.
if we go over.
If we go over the 300? I
If we
think
go over the grant amount.
well, this is saying we definitely will.
Yeah.
So,
Unless something else comes in under.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right, so I think I'm looking for you all to approve this and to authorize me to let Kim know that she can get started.
Right, basically award it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion to approve awarding you say
Kim Becker.
Kim Becker, the design for our signs for the waterways signs project in the amount of $300.
So moved.
Seconded?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? All right. So go forward and award.
Very good. I will go forward and award.
Thanks.
Yes.
All right.
So the next thing we have to do on this is get on Dan's calendar to make a field trip with us to our locations with a bucket of steaks. And we'll set that up
Okay.
outside of this.
I think on our schedule, we need to have that done by next Friday. Not as in tomorrow being the next Friday, but the Friday after.
Oh, well, that's a whole week. Yeah.
I'm around next week, so.
We're
Yeah.
not busy at all.
Figure it out.
Yep.
Can we do it on a Tuesday night?
Yeah,
If you want to do it that way, and some of us could.
sure.
Tuesday night?
Tuesday, probably not, no.
Okay.
Do you care where we put the signs?
No, I think make excellent decisions.
Okay. All right. Is Tuesday okay?
Well, it's okay with me. Dan, how about if I touch base with you?
Yeah.
However, I can't next Tuesday because there's an important planning board meeting.
Oh, that's right.
So can we do it Tuesday after?
Then we'll
We'll
be
put it
off.
behind schedule. We'd be missing milestones.
Oh,
I'm not
okay, so
too
any
happy about
other,
that.
any other date is fine.
Yeah. All right, we'll,
Drunk
we'll,
with power.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Mark, drunk with power.
Okay, yeah, maybe if you could, if next Tuesday doesn't work, then the next Tuesday, that's fine. If that works for Dan, then that might be good.
Okay.
Okay, well, let us know. Anything else on that before we move on?
Nope.
Okay. So again, with the amended agenda, we'll move to the non-point source pollution brochure mailing and get an update.
We have our window open, so we have a lot of interesting ambient noise here. So this is where we can turn to the Zoom link and thank Jen for pulling together the mailing of our non-point source pollution brochure. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah, happy to do it.
So we got the first 100 in the mail, and the next thing to decide on that project is the next batch of addresses. So we did Oak Ridge Drive and Calvin Street, both sides of the street. We can loop back around to the other side of Flanagan Pond and then start,
Basically along Central and then
yep,
Old Sandy Pond.
yep, we could do that. And if, I don't think that's gonna get us to 100, we could then start around Sandy Pond,
Okay.
unless somebody else has another idea.
No, I think that's good.
Okay,
Yeah, I think that'd be
all right.
definitely a good start. Would you go to the backside of Sandy Pond? Like down Wright Road, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
Well, and then on Sandy Town Road as well.
right.
Yeah, you're even closer.
But you're looking to target 100 mailings, 100 additional mailings, right?
Well, yeah, it's just a number, you know.
Could we do it by the number it needed instead of just going for 100? Just get the envelopes for this area,
Yep, yep,
and then we'd be done.
yep. And John says he is going to help you this time.
Probably a good idea for him to touch all the envelopes this time than for me.
Okay.
All right, so we can,
Basically the rest of the ponds. Cool.
yeah.
Okay.
We got a very nice note from Faith Salter, whose daughter Keziah is the one that designed the brochure.
Mhm.
She had heard from a friend who lives on Sandy Pond that the friend had received the brochure, and Faith was delighted by the cover letter and made sure to put it in Keziah's Silver Award folder.
Very cool.
It was very, yeah, it was,
Nice.
yeah, they were very appreciative.
And who did the cover letter?
Well, the best clerk ever. Yeah, so this is a
Good
very
job.
good thing we're doing, I think.
Done with my little power.
Definitely. All right, good. That's, again, phenomenal and awesome. I appreciate that. Anything else on that?
No?
Okay. Great work, Jen and Jess and Joanne. Great job. Let us move on to our discussion on managing conservation office workload.
Jess, do you want to catch them up on our last meeting?
Well, not too much. There's a little bit of slowdown on Joanne's position being removed from the union, having to do with the union itself, not local, and a little negotiating. Otherwise, we're just proceeding. We're going to be on the select board's agenda for their August 17th meeting. And we'll post that as a joint meeting for our part, unless there are only two of us going. But I think it'd be good if those of us who can go. Jen, would you be able to go to that one?
I can go to the 17th, yeah.
Yep,
Is that a Tuesday?
it's a Tuesday. I think they start at 6:15.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I can, sorry, yes.
Are you sure?
Check again.
My class will be over by then, sorry.
Robert also said he's going to start pushing the select board to institute that meeting with some of their boards, at least once, if not twice a year, so they can see what's going on. So we'll largely go over what we're doing, what we've been doing, and also what we need to do, what we need help on.
Okay.
And I'm happy to also say, we'd be saying we need help, but there are also several other departments in town hall that need help in the burning out human resources. So we can put in a plug for the need for attention to restructuring town hall so that we don't burn our human resources out.
Yes.
So August 17th, mark that on your calendar.
Yep, and we don't have a specific next meeting date with Robert about this, but he wants to meet again with the small group before that select board meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just under a minute.
Thank you.
And I think that's all the update. We are. Nothing has changed about the busyness of the office. Marilyn is coming in. She's getting started on catching up with the backlog of filing. But just to get ready to catch up with it has taken days of her time.
Yeah. Organize before you organize, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, that feels like a positive step.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I've got on that. You have anything else?
Nope, I think that's
Okay.
good.
All right, thank you. Okay, so with that, why don't we move on and open the public hearing for notice of intent that was continued for 43A Groton Harbor Road, Air DPW Stormwater Outfall Improvement on property owned by Edward Oliet, DEP file number 100-0459.
Yeah.
Just getting to make some visuals to
We like
see if I can get in.
I don't know if you have to take mine out.
Oops, did that last time.
Oh, so
No, that's good.
Now you're.
This problem.
Now
There's a
you're
problem with
E.
your drive.
Yeah.
Here, perhaps you should drive.
Yeah, thanks. All right, good evening. How we all doing?
Good.
Good. So yeah, since the last time, let me find it. We did the site visit last time for the outfall improvement at 43A. And we looked at relocating the rain garden to be less impactful to the trees. So we looked at two options. The first was if we moved it upland of the tree area. So this is our easement here. The original rain garden was going to be in this area. So if we look at moving it upland, the only issue is you can see the soil probes here. Ledge is very close to the surface, and the rain garden needs to be at least a couple feet deep. So we'd have to raise up the area. Basically, it really wouldn't work well.
Isn't that first area, isn't that where the stump was?
Yeah. So that's where that is, because that'd have to be taken out, and then just looking at the grades, we would have to raise the area up in order to create the depression for a
So the
rain garden.
there's not enough like root base from the tree stump that
Yeah,
creates
so,
that basin.
so you have to have the rain garden, you need a couple feet for the bioretention soil mix, and then you need another couple feet after that just for the infiltration. So the ledge is too high in this area to really put it here. We'd have to raise it up a lot. So the other thing we looked at was going down, which one am I? Here.
Your E.
Near the water, which works out pretty well. So we'd run the pipe down and then have a rain garden at the water.
Basically at the edge.
Yeah, stay 10 feet away, it would overflow into Flanagan's. It keeps coming up. But so I spoke to the homeowner and showed him the options, and he really likes this one, as do I. The other one's really not feasible. In this one, you kind of keep the cut as slim as you can, get the rain garden down here. This area, I soil probed. I didn't show it on here, but went down to 5 feet. That's as deep as the probe goes, and wasn't hitting any ledge. So I think probably once you get down by these trees, the ledge sort of goes away. So my plan would be to just formalize this plan here, relocate the rain garden in this area, and then submit it before the next meeting.
And what's the distance there to that tree? I think you're identifying.
This one's 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah. Over here is 9.3, so you try to keep it as far away as we can, keeping within the easement. And hopefully they are okay, we'll monitor them.
So then all the new culvert then, where that 10 foot is then roughly, basically, right?
Yep. Yeah, so the existing one's right here. It falls right there. So we'd move it over here, come down. So that's 12 inches wide. That's why it's a double line. That's the exact width the culvert would be.
Yeah.
Yep.
So no trees come down with this one?
No, we wouldn't take any down, but we'd monitor the situation to see if, they become unhealthy. I know this one we noticed looked like there was some health issues
Yeah.
with that, but
Yeah.
at this point, for now, we would just leave it and keep an eye on it.
And you said that's more appealing to the homeowner too?
Yeah, he'd like to try to keep them too. It's within our easement, so we could technically remove them if we wanted to be able to get access in our easement.
Yeah.
But, obviously I'd like to keep them for him, and it's better for
Yes.
everyone, so, Yeah, so he definitely, he liked this, so.
Okay.
So that'd be the plan, bring that out, formalize this plan, and submit it before the next meeting.
All right, great. I
Yeah.
think,
Jen, any questions? Jess, any?
No.
Joanne, did you have any other comments?
no, I think this looks like a great alternative.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the best we can do.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, thanks.
So we just need to vote on continuing this till just the next meeting. Did you want to go to, Dan, or
Yeah, that would be good if we can just do the next
August 12th.
meeting, yeah.
12?
It's a 3-week now.
Yeah, we got 3 weeks to work on it.
Funny thing.
All right. So motion to continue the public hearing, notice of intent, 43A Ground Harbor Road, DEP file 100-0459 to our August 12th meeting.
Seconded?
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So moved. Approved. Thanks, Dan.
Okay, great. I'll stick around.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about the old Sandy Pond Road tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just while you-
Yep. So while Dan is here, he sent us over an analysis of a culvert situation
Oh, okay.
that's brewing on Old Sandy Pond Road.
Yeah, so this is not on the agenda.
No, but when you start saying the word emergency,
Yeah.
we get it on the agenda.
Okay. Oh, so did you do have that memo that I sent over?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I can
and I-
explain what's going on once you guys are ready, while you get your paperwork.
And I accidentally printed mine out on Friday.
Okay.
Does Jen have any of this at all? or-
No, Jen, I have your hard copy packet here, that I can drop in the mail to you if you would like.
I'm sure I can pick it up when things are safer.
Okay, all right.
Thanks, Jen.
Okay, so yeah, I sent the memo over today to Joanne, and you were actually all in the email too. But on Old Sandy Pond Road, so the location of Old Sandy Pond Road, if you don't know, it's near the Sandy Pond Beach, just off of Sandy Pond Road where Snake Hill intersects. And in that area, we have a culvert that transfers water from an open water wetland, which our guys call it a frog pond, over to the deep marsh wetland, which is really part of Flanagan Pond. And so on Friday, we observed or found a sinkhole in that culvert. So the culvert has collapsed. When you're looking at it, it's an 18-inch corrugated metal pipe with total section loss on the bottom half of it. I think I have a photo of that, yeah. So you can see the pipe here, and you see the section loss down here. There's no pipe on the sides or on the bottom. So somewhere in there, we do have a collapse. So, we'll go back to the photos. Just to show kind of the area. This is the inlet to the culvert, and it's completely submerged. There's kind of some large stone block wall, kind of head wall. The inlet's somewhere under the water here. This is also looking at the inlet. The inlet's somewhere right in this area. So when we do go to replace it, there's a tree here. One of them's got bittersweet or something wrapped around it, and there's an old fence that's kind of torn apart, which we'll have to remove and reset. And I can share these with Joanne too.
Is that the tree that has to come down?
Yeah, this little one here, yeah, would have to come so we can get the pipe in. This is the outlet, kind of hard to see, there's a lot of sticks, but here's the corrugated metal pipe. So it is flowing, it's kind of a limited flow, not as much as usual. As you can see, the upstream was completely submerged. So it's, at this point, it's partially blocked. Here's a road plate covering the sinkhole at this point. So I kind of did some analysis out here to, see how urgent this really was. And the drainage area is actually quite large. It's about 21.5 acres. All the drainage from Sandy Pond Road from near Central Ave comes down here, comes down the road and outlets into this pond. There's everything up in this area, comes down through this wetland and goes into the pond.
It all goes down from there.
Yeah.
That's why it's going on to get to go 30 miles an hour.
Yeah. Keep on the wrong one. So I did some drainage calcs. I don't really want to show them here, I'll just explain. Basically, if the pipe is completely blocked, somewhere between a 2-year and a 10-year storm, there's not enough storage in the drainage area, it will overtop the road. So if we get a decent sized storm, we could have a serious issue there with potential road washout. And additionally, it is close to the two residents on, I think it's 60 and 62 Sandy Pond Road. It could potentially get up near the houses. So just based on that, I think we should act quickly because we don't want to have something bad happen, especially with all the rain we've been getting. So what I'm proposing is that we act under an emergency certification to replace this culvert with the same type of pipe. I looked at the pipe hydraulically. It does suit through the 100-year storm the existing size, so we would replace it in kind with a new HDPE pipe and just replace it in the same location, same elevations.
So I'm looking at the picture you showed from the inside.
Yeah.
Is it truly a full culvert, or was it just like an arch actually?
It was a pipe at one point. It was a circular pipe. Yeah. So we see this a lot with the corrugated metal pipes in town, where the bottoms have rotted completely. So, yeah.
All right. George, some questions?
Okay, show the down.
Jen, any questions from what you saw?
Just looking at the plans that Dan sent via email and everything, trying to follow what you guys are looking at. And Dan, what type of material is the replacement going to be made out of? Is that arc corrugated?
It'd be HDPE corrugated pipe. That's what we use. That's our standard now.
That's like the black stuff, right?
Yeah, the black corrugated plastic pipe. Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yes.
No, I mean, I drove over it today and it's sort of right in the middle of the road almost,
Yeah.
so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joanne, so when would you want to do this?
Probably get going next week. Because they dig safed it just to, as a precaution in case we didn't get up there quickly. So that'll probably happen if I get started. I think the cert gives you 30 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, and you'll get the form over.
Yeah, I
to
could
me?
send everything to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something's gonna go on, George, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. So do we have a motion then to approve the emergency, is it a permit?
Certification.
Thank you. Emergency certification for replacing the old Sandy Pond Road culvert.
Seconded?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? All right.
Great, thank you.
You can put that together then.
Yeah, we'll figure that all out.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll stick around for the next one.
Yep.
The Dan show.
Do you want control here?
So next item on our agenda is discussion around our fever management plans.
Sorry.
So Jess went through our carefully organized archives and found that the town actually has a beaver management plan.
It was a plan, was it ever enacted?
Well,
Do they have to be enacted, George?
I don't know, but it exists as a plan.
Yeah, so I read through it, okay, if I can speak.
Yeah.
It was from 2013, and Mark Wetzel and I think Doug Jasperson went out with Mike Callahan to go at all the sites we knew of where beaver activity was going on. And Mike Callahan assessed each site and told us what our best options were at those sites. So it really spoke to, at that time, what we could be doing at those sites. It wasn't in a plan in such a way as like describing what CONSCOM's responsibility is,
Right.
DPW's, things like that. But it was a great find by Jess. And when you read through the minutes Jess found too, we ended up finding out a lot of the locations had private property issues, and so you couldn't really do much without a lot of work with the property owners. So that's kind of what I got out of them. But I think it was, a good starting point
Yes,
for
and did you?
the other plan. Yeah, I do have
You got
that.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so MRPC made a map of some of the locations in 2013 that that continue to be the locations where we have
Yeah.
beaver interactions. Some of which have been attended to with beaver deceivers, Rock Meadow Pond and the Long Pond Dam are beaver deceivers that the commission had put in.
Yeah, and at Rosewood, when Calvin built his solar one, they
Yep.
put in the cage there. But we know we keep having issues
Yes,
there
and we
still.
had an
So that's
issue
still
there.
still a troubled site.
Well, and I did talk to Calvin about that, and I've been talking with the people at Kearsarge Energy about that, and that whatever happens at that cage site is Calvin's call, because that's his
Right, his property.
his property. So he could either pursue a beaver deceiver or trapping or those are really the only two options if they come back again.
Okay, so if the issue comes back up, would Calvin have to come to us to implement any of that, I assume, or not?
You'd have to get a permit from us as well as the Board of Health.
If he wanted to
Correct.
remove the dam or
Or
install a beaver deceiver,
Yeah.
but if he wanted just to do trapping, I'm not sure he has to come to us for that.
Which I would discourage. I think Jen would too. Trapping beaver, because they'll just come back. It's not a long-term solution.
Right.
And we have to learn to live with these other critters in our natural environment,
Yes,
unless there's a really compelling reason to.
right.
Agreed.
So I did talk to Mike by email this week, and he said that the water level is so high right now that beavers aren't damming. And I went over to look at the Shaker Mill Pond dam removal site, and there's not a stick back there.
Yeah,
The
I saw
water's
that.
just flying through there. So it seems like we have a map, we have some information about our conflict sites. Jess also found the flow chart of
Mm-hmm, right.
what happens when, but that's really more, how do you get to the point where you're issuing permits?
Yeah, oh yeah. Procedures in accordance with general law, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
So if we have to do draft an official plan and look to implement it, something like that, would need to be updated and placed in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you thinking?
I think this is a good starting point, we could probably get this from MRPC, this data layer, and then update it to today's status. And then you could kind of, every year, or, it's a living, you put it in GIS and as beavers happen,
Yeah.
update GIS.
Yeah.
So I think that would be great. And then, I think it would be good to kind of formalize, like what you were saying, Jess, and many of us are against, you only want to trap if there's a real public safety, health issue, like last resort,
Yeah.
kind of formalize when you do trapping, when you do pond leveling, whatever. It'll probably be more of a thing where, like, you find a new site and you ask Mike Callahan to come and tell us what he thinks, right?
Mhm.
I know he doesn't come for free because we're a customer to check
Yes.
out sites, so,
Yep.
yeah, so that's kind of what my thoughts are.
Okay.
That's, we could put it in our GIS easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could get this, so we could have a plan, and obviously I could share that with you.
All right. Well, do you want to ask MRPC for this?
Yeah, I can do that.
That would be great.
We co-author a plan, or would it be DPW that really kind of puts all the plan together and maintains and owns it?
I think it'd probably be conservation, because you know, you get the jurisdiction within the wetlands with the beaver dams, the permitting of it, and we get involved when it's a big public safety issue, or if there's a culvert with a blockage usually. And, you know, obviously we can work in tandem, you know, our guys are always driving around and seeing sites, we'll get phone calls, we can update the GIS, so we can kind of be I would see us as kind of a help, yeah.
Yeah.
You could take that sort of flow chart and specify the different steps. And
Yeah.
you get calls from residents, then there's a notification to us, and also in that for actions taken, so
Right.
you could do it that way. So we've got the infrastructure there.
Yeah, and then with the layer, once that gets updated, so we can identify, you know, you'd be able to modify these, right? So you
Yeah.
can say like this site highlighted in yellow, you know, residential site versus.
Oh, yeah, you
versus
could
town
write
site,
property
right?
owners, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
then, like you said, in the flow chart, we can identify, okay, as a property owner, you know, this is a site that is an issue or potentially could be an issue, you know, as and potentially sending it to those property owners and then letting them know this would be the process that you should follow if we start in problems.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I think being able to count on communication between DPW and conservation is going to be the best way that this can work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's really good to be able to count on that.
Yeah, so if we could put something together, I'd say maybe before the end of the calendar year, we'd like get it
For next year.
Oh yeah,
So when
we
the
should
beavers
try
come
to,
in the spring.
we should try to do it sooner than that.
Yeah.
So you're going to get the MRPC. to
Yeah,
update
I'll ask them
that?
for this data, and if they don't have it, it's easy enough to recreate, just a little more work, but our intern has a little time, I can get her to do it.
And that would include updated information about activity.
Yeah, we could, from what we've had recently, put it in there, because I know the one by Peroni Park's not on there.
From an
Growth
updating
plan.
perspective,
Yeah.
does it make sense to do like a spring update and a fall update, or is it just like a one annually, just kind of any update that needs to be made would be made, because we want to keep this maintained now going forward. So-
Yeah, probably whenever it happens, we would update it.
But
You know, whenever we have an
or
issue
something
somewhere,
changes.
it would just be a part of the procedure.
Okay.
Update the plan.
Yeah, no, I plan.
When it
so I said
happened,
in the
what
management
happened,
plan,
what we did.
Yeah, envision putting that in there, that it's updated at least annually or reviewed annually and updated
Yeah.
or, like you said, as issues occur and changes happen maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we'll be proactive against these, or not against, not against the beavers, but trying to mitigate them.
With the beavers, yes. Well, yeah.
Public safety.
And each time something happens, as a group, we get together and go, damn.
See what we live with.
Yeah.
We're very lucky we get to live with this.
Or go down.
There you go.
Okay. Do we have anything else we want to discuss on that, or do we have a path forward to, you want to put a tentative date on, you know, you thought much sooner than that?
Yeah, sooner than.
I'm just thinking with everything else that's going on.
Well, I know,
It might
but-
take about that time to get complete.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. right
Why
now.
don't you let me know when you get the data layer? And
Okay.
that will be the impetus for me to maybe draft something to run by you.
Okay,
And I think the simpler we can make this,
yeah.
the better it's gonna work. It doesn't need to be
Yeah.
a big gigantic document, but just, you know, a little procedural kind of.
Yeah, so we get, you know, like a flow chart of what happens, and just get in there what we expect to do. You know,
Yes.
last case, we want to do the trapping, and then we can always change, you know, modify
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so you get the plan.
Yeah, I'll get that.
I'll draft some kind of flow chart. All right. So in all this rain, did you hear anything about the Peroni Park
No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Okay,
Yeah, I haven't checked in though. I'll go down there and look tomorrow.
all right.
See what's going on.
I'm wondering if the beavers aren't building on top of the Shaker Mill Pond stone dam, because when the dam at the upstream end was removed, the water level didn't drop very much.
Oh, yeah, that's on here. Or no, is that further down?
And that's the area.
But anyways, yeah, you might be
That's
right.
this- So this is the one we
Yeah,
took out.
That's the one that got taken
Yeah,
out,
and
so
this
maybe
is-
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's hard to get, you have to park and walk up to that. Yeah, we
Yep.
can take a look.
And that would be Dan House.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, he
that
owns
is-
that.
Yeah, that is
It's part of his
Yeah.
parcel, right?
Yeah. Well, it's very fun to walk into that dam, it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Those-
it's been down there,
Did you see, are you gonna be able to have somebody try and get in there and check that out, do you think, or what?
yeah. I could go do it, I'll go tomorrow, I gotta look at some other things. Actually, I should check out the development
Yeah, there you go.
while you're there. Yeah,
Yeah.
see what's going on.
I think. Okay. You got anything else for us?
I don't think so. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Okay, why don't we move on to discussion on the draft conservation restriction for 0 Washington Street, Air Solar 2B, DEP number 100-0444.
Yes, so I was in contact with Rohit about the CR and about their solar 2B.
Can I ask you to speak up, please?
Yeah, this is really hard. This is so hard for, yeah.
Thank you.
We do the best we can, Carol.
So Air Solar 2B is getting ready to start construction. We had the pre-construction meeting yesterday of all the town departments involved and the contractor, the 2 owners, multiple engineers. And as part of that project, they're putting a conservation restriction on 39 acres on a separate parcel. So Rohit has had a conservation restriction draft drawn up, and he submitted it to the state for review, not knowing that he should have shown it to us first. And I was finally able to review it. It's in remarkably good shape. Considering that the lawyer who drew it up probably is in Michigan and has never done this before. I was very pleased. There are a couple of things that are missing. The baseline documentation is, I don't think Rohit knew he needed to contract for that, so that's underway. There's some concern on Calvin's part about the signage for public access. While he's agreeing to public access, he would like the signage to be subtle. And I think we can accommodate his wish and the actual legal need for public access. So Rohit and I are going to work on the signage.
Okay.
And we also need the plan, so the plan of the parcel. So Rohit is also working on that. But it's coming right along, and it's in pretty good shape.
All right, well, that's good to hear.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions about any of that? I'm good.
Jen, any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Any questions Actually, and just a reminder, we do have a sign-in sheet up there. I don't know if you folks signed in when you came, but if you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. And there's masks if anybody needs a mask, but everybody looks pretty well masked. Thank you. All right, anything else on that one then, Joanne?
No.
Okay. How are we doing on time, Jen?
I don't want to say anything, we're actually in really good shape. Maybe we should progress, but we're in good shape.
Thanks. All right, next one's a discussion on the draft conservation restriction for 0 Washington Street, Panther Place, open space residential development subdivision. Do we have a DEP file number for this one yet?
We do. Is it not in there?
Should it be on the agenda?
Do we?
Well, no,
No, we
not.
don't. Yeah. We haven't gotten any.
Oh, no, we don't.
notices for
That's
this.
right, we don't. We just got the notices.
File number
Yeah.
100 dash question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
That's the one. That's the one. So this conservation restriction for Panther Place is still missing some information. I read through it. It's missing the plan. It's missing minor kinds of things, but it's not ready for us to really look at yet. So I let Alex Para know the things that I thought were missing,
Okay.
which are the things that the state thinks is missing too. And he was of the opinion that that those are very minor matters, but they still need to be attended to.
Okay, so minor, but he can take care of it for us?
Yeah, he's away till the 26th. So when he gets back, I'll go through this with him and let him tell me what the information is that needs to be completed. We do have new names for the roads in this subdivision. Gaskin Lane or Gaskins Lane, I think, and Briggs Circle. Rather than Claw Circle and Panther Lane, maybe? I forget.
Is it still going to be called Panther Place, or is that?
I believe it's still going to be called Panther Place as a subdivision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, do we have a lot of Panthers in Ayer that I haven't seen?
It's the mascot of the high school.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
So yes,
So there's quite a few.
there are lots of Panthers that you haven't seen.
They're like right across the street. They roam free.
Yes.
Cousins.
So this is still a work in progress, and we'll just keep moving it forward a little bit at a time.
Okay. Jen, any questions on that one?
Nope.
Okay. Alrighty. With that, let us move on to the public meeting. Request for determination of applicability after the fact. 62 Sandy Pond Road, Jeffrey and Felicity Turgeon.
All right.
Are you, Jesse and Felicity are going to be on the phone, you said?
So their contractor is going to be on the phone. His name is Felipe.
Okay.
You know, listen to Philip online if that's long.
Wait, what was that?
Oh, yeah, there is a Philip on the Zoom.
Oh.
It's not the right pillow. It's my pillow. Oh,
No, it's not the same Philip.
Oh, okay. Sorry, thank you.
We've got all the technology running.
call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 978.
All right, no,
Do you want to,
You can try it again after the next discussion, if there's time to.
Calvin, remove that.
yep. It's really all we've got.
Okay.
You know, I'll try to text him.
Okay.
He might not have recognized that phone number.
Yeah, maybe, was he expecting your number possibly?
Possibly. Well,
Do you have anything you want to share with us about it before while we wait for potential
well, I
text
could
back?
catch you up on this, yeah, while we're. So, this is the plan of 62 Sandy Pond Road.
Yep.
The pond that Dan was just talking about is this pond right here. The people who live at this house had an addition built, unaware that they were in the buffer zone of this pond. Oh, here we have Felipe. So I'll call your phone. So there was no damage done to the resource area itself. The addition was a small addition in the very outer part of the buffer zone. That's really what I know about it. So we'll get Felipe to explain the rest of it.
Okay.
Felipe?
Hello. Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's Joanne. I'm here with Commissioners George Bacon, Jess Gugino, and Mark Phillips. And Jess,
Hi guys, how are you?
and we've got Jen Amaya on the Zoom call. You're on the speakerphone. We've got a plan up on the giant tablet. We're just all kinds of technology filled here. So I do have the plan up showing the location of the addition and the pond and the buffer zone. So if you could explain to the commission what happened, that would be good.
So last year, while the pandemic was going on, this customer wanted to have an addition built for an extra family room in the house. And, it was covered by snow, the trees and everything, so I had no idea that there was a pond there. I don't know Ayer very well, as I'm from Leominster, spent most of my life in Leominster. And so we applied for the building permit and everything. We were issued the building permit. We started excavation, put in a foundation, had it inspected, and then we had it framed. And then from that moment that we had it framed, the building inspector reached out to us and saying that there was a pond there that was conservation and that we needed to get the dirt out of there as soon as possible. So I ended up calling my site guy. We got the dirt out of there the very next day. We he came by for a framing inspection. I believe it was the day he came by for a framing inspection, the dirt wasn't there anymore. And hopefully we had resolved it. Turns out at the end of the project, we had, our foundation guy messed up, shifted the building, 2 inches from the original location that it was supposed to be in the site plan. And we ended up having to apply for a variance because one corner of the building was in the setback for a few inches. I believe it's 2 or 3 inches. I don't have the plan in front of me right now. So when we applied for the variance, Joanne reached out, and now here we are. So it wasn't, anything intentional that we were just really, we didn't have the know-how. And then, as soon as we didn't know what was going on, we tried to be as proactive as possible to get it resolved and to get it, in compliance.
Okay.
Good, so what I had Felipe do was complete the request for determination form,
Yeah.
which I have here, and I would recommend that the commission grant a negative determination on this. Everything is stable and buttoned up, and no resource areas were damaged by this project.
Did you look to the site?
Yeah.
Did you look at it?
I've driven by it, yes.
Okay.
It's right where that plate is in the sinkhole.
Right, no, I think it looks good.
Yeah.
I saw
Looks
it.
good.
I just was wondering if you had noticed, where the dirt pile had been at all or anything?
Yeah, and the dirt pile has been gone for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is it a full foundation or is it just like on piers?
Felipe?
No, it was just a 4-foot foundation, and everything was backfilled back into that. And I heard him saying where was the pile of dirt in relate to the pond was on the other side. So if you look at the property, the property kind of closes in, right? To where you turn into that other road over there. I forget the name of the road. The pile of dirt was toward. So if you're in the back of the property, on the opposite side from the pond is where we dug it and had the dirt put back there.
Yeah, the dirt was
So it
about
wasn't
here.
anywhere. Yeah, luckily it wasn't anywhere near on that side there. And then we used the same dirt. It was good dirt. We used the same dirt to backfill it. And then we had one load that we had to haul out, which because of the foundation and stuff, obviously we wouldn't fit. So we had one load that we had to haul out.
Jen, any questions on Zoom?
No, I'm looking at it, the map online, I think it makes sense, and if Joanne says it's fine, then I trust that.
I'm good.
All right. We need to vote this one.
Yeah, we need a motion for a negative determination after the fact.
We have a motion to issue a negative determination after the fact for 62 Sandy Pond Road, Jeffrey and Felicity Turgeon.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. You are good to go, Felipe.
Great.
Thank you very much, guys.
So Felipe, I'll get this in the mail to the, do you want me to send it to the Turgeons or to you?
You can send it to me. When I close everything out, then I'll get it taken care of.
Okay, all right, good. I'll put it in, actually, I'll call you tomorrow and get an address, because I don't think I have your address.
Okay. How about this? I'll make it easier for you. I'm gonna reply to your email right now, with the address.
Okay.
That way you'll have it tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Nice talking to you, Felipe. Take care.
Too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. So he's away. That's why Otherwise, he would be here,
Oh, not like, he's out of town, in other words.
out of town away, yes.
Okay, all right. Good deal. All right, so it looks like our next item is a discussion on the Stratton Hill subdivision conservation and analysis draft.
We have 3 of us, so do you want us all up here?
Sure.
Not really.
So if you guys put yourselves together, I guess I got the impression that most of the people in the audience are probably here to hear this. And if you are planning to speak or make comments on things, just, letting you know we have time limit. So, and we also want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak. So, when you request to speak and we move on to that point, if it can just be 5 minutes of time, and also, others, giving others the ability. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So with that, Joanne, you want to start us out? Or?
Sure. Just get the gentleman's name.
Oh,
We need your
thank you.
names.
Yes, give me.
Yes, for the record.
My name is Bob Collins. I'm the attorney for the applicant. I'm an attorney from Groton.
Okay.
You look different with face mask.
Oh, well, we all do, don't we?
Stan Dillis from Dillis and Roy. We're the engineers for the project.
Thanks, Dan.
And Seth Donahoe, also with Dillis and Roy.
You look different with a face mask.
And not on the Zoom thing, so.
Right. Yeah, so we get 3D, but only,
Correct.
yeah.
Next time. I'll be-
And if you guys wouldn't mind, if somebody already asked, if you could definitely just kind of speak up a little bit. We got the air conditioner runner and everything, so everybody can hear.
Well, my voice generally penetrates concrete, but these are tough.
Yeah, and the microphone for our Zoom feed is back there, so,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I'll speak louder than usual.
Very good.
That'd be great.
So as part of any open space residential development subdivision in Ayer, an applicant needs to submit a conservation analysis to the Conservation Commission so that we can make a conservation recommendation to the planning board regarding the portion of the proposed development that is has the highest ecological or open space value and should be set aside and permanently protected. We've done 3 of these already since the new bylaw came to us, and this would be our 4th one. The planning board actually received the conservation analysis and then sent it on to us. And I know you all have seen at least the electronic version of the conservation analysis. It's in my mind, it's a little slim on details of this parcel. I did give the applicants examples of other conservation analyses that we have received, and I gave them our guidelines for what needs to be included in a conservation analysis. And so my recommendation to the commission is that that you ask for more information about this parcel. There are some remarkably special ecological aspects to this parcel. I put up an aerial photo of the area.
And that shows it quite nicely, actually.
Yeah, this MassDOT pictometry viewer is an amazing resource. So it's Long Pond on the right, Sandy Pond in the lower left-hand corner, so you can get your bearings. You can actually see the topography rolling through the power line easement. So what else can I say? I do have copies of the site analysis guidelines that I gave the applicant, and if you all want these, again, we have literally a list of 17 things we need to know about, and they're listed out here. Some of them just are not included in this conservation analysis.
Okay.
And while I realize that the developer is proposing to permanently protect far more than the 50% of the parcel that's required, I think the commission still needs to understand the parcel itself and the parts of it that are really ecologically sensitive and ecologically valuable before you can make your recommendation. And I don't think you have enough information in this existing conservation analysis to make a recommendation.
Okay. Joanne, maybe we could reach out to you and make sure that we've hit all those bullet items. We felt like we did, but if we need more information, maybe we can coordinate with you to make sure that we get that information into the report.
Yeah. I can give you the list again, if you would like the list.
Well, no, we have that. We do.
There are some, let's see, I've got some other images that I can click through.
We also thought it might be helpful if we could give you, the commission, an overview of the site and some historical information on it, and then perhaps answer some questions that you may have, and then, perhaps augment the analysis, if you would like.
Okay. Well, why don't we hear what Joanne has to say, and then we'll circle back with you.
I'll run through the other images that I have. This is one of the plans that we received as part of the conservation analysis. It shows most of the development parcel. I think it goes off to the left a little bit more.
Yeah, the kind in the bottom right is
Oh, yes, okay, there's the match line. The orange, you can't really read the legend, but I think the orange is slopes greater than 20%. And you can see the dashed outline of the limit of work, basically, and the road. This is from the MassDOT pictometry viewer.
God, you're right, Joanne, though. These are such wonderful images.
Oh, they're really, and it's a super easy, publicly accessible. This is one of the greatest things I've found recently.
I would note that road that you see cut in there was a previously approved subdivision that was bigger than this.
Right.
The new road would be smaller.
Much smaller.
Yeah, so that road that we're seeing, that's the red line
That's
on
that
this?
red, yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the thing that's important about this image is going to be borne out in the next image. So you're seeing this very big triangle of undeveloped land. Ayer is creeping up from the south, Groton's creeping in from the east and the west. This is a UMass extension map of habitat of potential or statewide importance for the town of Ayer. This is Sandy Pond right here. This is Stratton Hill. So this is, extending up into Groton. This is a very critically important habitat area. This is CAPS stands for Conservation Assessment and Prioritization System of Ecological Integrity, Index of Ecological Integrity. There are very few places in the state that are more ecologically intact than this little triangle that I just showed you. This is right here. It's interesting to see the power lines becoming an important shrub land. It's kind of unintended consequence, but this is a very, very important tract of land ecologically. This is the sort of thing that once we lose, not only is it gone forever, but the ripple from the loss is just devastating. Here's the same view from a different angle. And this is the proposed subdivision. Whoops. Wrong button. There we go. So, given how important ecologically this is, I think the commission needs a really robust conservation analysis on this project. Yeah, and I think that's all I have to say for the moment.
Okay, all right. And in reading through what I had noticed also, and I will admit that I read it somewhat quickly, but if I'm not mistaken, the conservation analysis identifies sort of that low-lying land at the bottom of Long Lake as being prime farmland, and I thought it was kind of odd.
Yes, yeah. The Mass GIS has that completely
Yeah, that's
wrong.
actually
Yeah.
a state mapping, so the
Yeah.
state should get their money back for
Interesting.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and I thought I possibly saw some errors with regards to east-west development. It said there's a lot of development on the east side of the west side of the lake, which would be the east side of this development, and it just didn't seem to read correctly. I'm not sure if that's true or not. So, like I said, I kind of went through that and did not go back and try and reassess that, but it didn't sound correct. So yeah, I think as Joanne said, I don't think it was quite to the standards we're really looking for, especially based on what this property is. So I think it needs to be stepped up a bit. George, did you have any comments?
Not right now, no.
Jen, any comments from Zoom?
No.
Okay. Jess?
Can you guys speak up, please, if you can?
Yep. Sorry, Jess, any comments?
Well, yeah, so Joanne, you're going to go through the things you think need to be added or given more detail. One thing I was hoping, well, tonight might be a good time to at least broach is page 11 of 12, where you have the high priority, medium priority, low priority. I think that's an area where I know I would like to weigh in on with some differences when we get there. I'm not sure if that's what we do right now, though.
Well, I think if we flesh out the conservation analysis more, the red, green, yellow recommendation is going to change substantially.
Since that's going to be in the process, then let me just say the area of low priority and the beginning of that slope, is that to the east? I think it is to the east. The low priority before the power lines, it slopes down to Long Pond and Marsh, and from my view, that's definitely going to be a high priority.
Well,
area.
that's why it's going to be gifted. That's part of the land that's going to be gifted.
I know just to give you a heads up.
Yeah.
We've got a couple stormwater basins planned for that slope that are just beyond the buffer zone. But that's a pretty pristine slope down to that marsh area, so that's where I'd be labeling this more high priority. Just giving you a heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a little, I know that you're using the assessor's data map as the base layer for this, so seeing the road where it was, not where it is also confusing. Yeah,
Well,
and,
up to the power lines, the existing road is what's being used.
Right.
Except for that lower entrance loops back around to the other road. So that bottom half, if you will, is basically using what's already there and been cut in. The utilities, the drainage, the sewer, and the water are all in there.
They're all there.
yeah,
Yeah, it looks like just about the edge of the power line is where you start to deviate on the east side and kind of pull it in a little bit.
That's correct.
And then you don't go quite as far up.
That's correct.
Okay.
If I could point out too, that just because something was in low priority or medium priority, it doesn't mean that there's not portions of it incorporated in the open space as well. There's a large contiguous open space proposed with this. And the priorities, we put the most high priority in the open space, but there's certainly other areas within the open space as well.
oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think we just need to call them out, and I think maybe using a different base layer, let me back up a second. This project also has an existing conservation and management permit on it that changed the old subdivision. For instance, the lots that were going to be located over here are now part of the protected open space.
That's correct.
Yes. So I think if we can figure out how to represent what the new project looks like without using the old project as the underpinning plan, it'll be easier for everybody to understand.
Well, I don't know. I won't say anything until you're ready for me, because I want
Yeah,
to
so
give
just to
this
clarify,
stuff.
do you mean in the description of the plan, Joanne? Is that what you're saying?
No, in these images are
Okay.
all overlain on the
old
old subdivision.
Okay.
The old subdivision road, the subdivision lots.
Okay.
No, that represents the new subdivision.
So this, if I could say, and we thought it was helpful, we've got a big version, but we thought it was helpful in many respects to, show clearly what is the development area, which is shown on this plan. But we also thought it was helpful for the commission and for the planning board to actually show the existing lots so that you can actually see this compresses the development area into 16.4% of the overall site, so it really compresses things down, because the open space bylaw didn't exist, back in 2004 and 5 when this was reviewed before.
Right.
So we thought it was actually helpful, but we can show it any way you like.
Well, I think using this would be better than using, so can I show them? So in this,
Oh, okay, we don't have the new.
Yeah, I see what you
I
mean.
see- I
That's
see
the
what you're
old.
saying.
right,
yes.
right,
Yeah.
so,
So we just want consistency.
Yeah.
That was that's just the image superimposed.
yes.
So on that, you'd like to see the new subdivision
I think-
added to that would be helpful, I
I
agree.
think
Yeah.
it would be very helpful.
Yeah.
I think if you go through all diagrams and everything that's being referenced with the new.
Make sure it's all
I think it's
consistent.
going to help us
Yeah.
clearly see what you're doing versus trying to assume.
Mark, we're at time for this. We have a few more minutes we can give to it, just if there's audience members, if you want to get to them sooner.
All right, thank you, Jen. I
But I
appreciate it.
really did want to give an overview,
Yeah,
because a lot of you weren't,
Yeah, he gives.
Oh, yeah.
weren't part of, this project, which has been going on for decades at this point.
Right, right.
So if you're ready for me, I'll go through it quickly.
Yeah,
But this is the final phase of a very limited development project that has been going on since actually the late 80s, but in the case of the current applicant, the very late 90s. So Dave Moulton and the late Bob Lacombe bought about 700 acres from Lone Star Corp. that went across the town border. So a big chunk of it was in Groton, and about 200 acres were in Ayer. The principal focus of what, and most of it actually shows on this very nice aerial view. And this property actually is very, very important property because by an accident of history and partially topography perhaps, it never was touched. It has had very limited human involvement. And there were a series of analyses that were done back in the 80s and 90s that determined that this is one of the most important sites worthy of protection in eastern Massachusetts. The former Secretary of Environmental Affairs said this was the most important site east of Worcester. My clients bought it so that they could do 2 limited development projects, one in Groton, one in Ayer, to pay for preserving what ends up being about 500 acres. So on the Groton side, development was compressed into about 60 acres, and 437 acres were gifted to Mass Audubon. Another 20 acres were gifted to the town of Groton. On the Ayer side, what is being proposed, there is roughly just shy of 200 acres here. Development would be compressed into 26.8 acres, and there would be gifted 165 acres totally would be permanently protected, including all of the frontage on Long Pond, which would be in the publicly protected open space. Mm-hmm. And one of the neat things that will occur once this development is done and the land has been gifted to either the town of Ayer or whatever conservation entity the commission and the planning board feel should get it, is somebody would actually be able to walk from Wright Road to either Tingsboro, Dunstable, or Pepperell over publicly protected lands, crossing streets occasionally. But you could spend several days hiking through very pristine areas. So it's beautiful property. We're very happy that the town redid its zoning. It was rather sad when the prior plan was approved, but there really wasn't a special permit variant in the bylaw that would allow one to compress lot sizes. So the prior plan really ate up more land than it needed to. This plan, with the new zoning, enables the protection of another 50 acres over what was proposed 15 years ago. So that's rather positive. We're certainly happy to augment the analysis in whatever way the commission would like. But again, we'd like to stress that we're proposing to develop 16.4% of the site, and we want to give you the rest of it. And that's actually why my clients bought it in the first place, was to protect this important resource. And that included buying some additional land. So Dave Moulton actually bought some additional pond frontage specifically with the intention of being able to augment the open space. So it'll be a really nice thing for the people that live in this area, but it'll be a very nice thing for the general public to finish this whole thing and actually permanently preserve this beautiful site that really is worthy of protection.
So I think we have the analysis will be forthcoming and things, so I appreciate that and thank you for the information. We will be wanting to do a site walk obviously on this too.
Yep, it's a beautiful site to walk.
But with that, if there's no other questions from the commission, I guess I would just be interested in maybe letting some of the folks in the audience speak if everybody's okay with that. All right, so if folks want to speak or ask questions about the project, feel free to stand up, just state your name and address.
Well, and you know what, I'm gonna move to that chair so people can come speak to this microphone.
All right, so if anybody
Do you
does
wanna
want to come up,
speak? Come here.
anyone? If you don't, that's fine. too.
And keep remarks brief.
Yes. And a reminder, as I said earlier, is trying to keep from a time perspective, keep them somewhat brief and to the point.
Ken Diskin, 180 Washington Street, also a member of the planning board, just for clarification. So I did read the conservation analysis, and I did notice in your agenda tonight that you referred to it as a draft, but I didn't see the word draft anywhere on the analysis, so I guess that's...
No, I'm considering it a draft
You're
because I
considering it a
consider
draft.
it incomplete.
Okay, so just clarifying that. I think the point you were trying to make was that the language, I think it was on page 4 actually, indicated that the east end of the project was facing the wrong side of the Long Pond. That's basically what it amounts to. Just a clarification on one of the pages. You basically say that the east side of the project faces the east side of the pond, when it's the west side of the pond. You say development has happened on the west side of the Long Pond, but it's actually happened on the east side of Long Pond. So just clarify that. But
thank you. Okay, couldn't quite remember how it was worded.
I was curious about the gifting to Audubon. I actually walked Rocky Hill today, and we do walk that quite often. So in your long-term planning, you indicate that, is there a talk to potentially give it to Audubon for them to increase that?
It really depends on what the town would like. When I was here 15 years ago, in front of the planning board and the commission on the airport and the site, we had floated that idea, and there actually at that time was not interest in Audubon having it. The commission wanted it at that time. It really could be gifted to Audubon with a CR perhaps to be held by the town. It could be gifted to the town. It could be gifted to the North County Land Trust. I should tell you though that the reason why Audubon was sought out 20 odd years ago was they had the wherewithal to deal with this site. The people in Groton understood that the Groton Conservation Commission did not have the resources to properly manage the site, and everybody involved felt that Audubon would be a good fit. The town of Groton does hold a conservation restriction on the site. Mass Audubon owns it. A similar thing could be done here, but it was really a matter of resources that they have. They have wonderful resources, but it could go to whomever you guys would like. I think the main thing is it needs to be in the public domain.
Sure.
We've been talking Fish and Wildlife.
And Fish and Wildlife would be a good recipient.
There are a number of reasons why I think we would favor that, Ken. So,
Just final clarification for what Joanne was requesting. You're basically saying to them to take the high priority, medium, and low priority locations in the site and put them on potentially that drawing over there.
That drawing, yeah.
And for clarification, that'll give us all a better idea for what they see at this point in time, even though it may not agree with what you may think in the long run. You're looking for them to put what they have now on that plan.
On that plan, and I think if I talk with the applicants and let them know which areas of the analysis need to be stepped up,
Okay.
that the designations that they have right now as low, medium, and high priority are likely to change.
Would you have thought that there would have to be more high priority than medium and low priority?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Come on up. And again, if you could state your name and address.
Annie Reed, and I live at 7 Wachusett Avenue East, which is just on the other side of Wright Road from the development. And I live down near the down near the edge of the pond,
Yes.
sandy pond.
Yeah.
You can just speak up so the rest of the folks can hear you, sorry.
Yep. Okay, I'll yell, I'm good at this.
Go.
So I have some questions about the development in terms of the runoff that's going to be created by developing the land and removing, you know, the forest that's there and putting a lot of hardscape up there. And currently, there's a retention pond right down at the corner of Wright Road and the Dirt Road Loop. And it doesn't seem to work. Whenever it rains, water pours down Standish Avenue and Wachusett Avenue and forms these giant puddles. The retention pond is filled with stagnant water, and I run by every day, and you know, it's an insect breeding ground. And I'm just concerned that that development that you're proposing is at the top of a hill, and even though the map doesn't really show it, there's a beaver pond in that marsh area up at the top of the loop, and there's a stream that flows down into Long Pond, and then there's wetlands on the left side or the west side of the loop, and there's some rock outcroppings, and I wonder where all that water is going to go. And I've seen the proposed plan that's over there, and it looks like you're going to add 4 more of these retention ponds, and I don't think that that's a good solution for handling the runoff. I think you're removing what mature trees and natural sponge of the vegetation that's there and putting, a gravel pit there and directing some water into it. But from what I understand, I've been living there for 8 years, but just that one retention pond and putting that dirt road in, whenever that originally happened, made things in terms of the runoff quite bad. And I think a lot of the runoff is ending up in Sandy Pond, and I don't know what's happening with Long Pond, but that's a big concern for me.
All right, thank you. I think that might be a little bit out of our scope, possibly.
Well, that'll definitely be reviewed as part of the planning board analysis and the peer review.
Yeah, okay. Does anybody else like to comment or? No? Okay.
I would just like to, my name is Marion Stoddard, and I live at 4 Autumn Ridge Drive, and I would just like to thank the Conservation Commission for the seriousness with which they are.
Marion, why don't you come up and sit in the chair and you can talk into the microphone.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you too, Marion, sorry.
There you go.
So my name is Marion Stoddard, and I live at 204 Autumn Ridge Drive. Before moving to Ayer, I lived in Groton, and I participated in the study that evolved into the 2 ACECs, the Petropavlovsk ACEC, which this proposed project is in, and the Squanasset ACEC, which is also involves the town of Ayer, Groton, and the towns on the western side of the National River. So I just want to thank the Conservation Commission for the seriousness in which you are conducting this meeting, and thank to Mr. Molden for his desire to protect this really significant piece of property, which Bob Collins has described as being, probably the most unusual and outstanding and extraordinary piece of property in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Thank you.
And you actually were part of the reason why this all happened, Marion. So.
Well, we hope that we'll have a wonderful ending.
That's right. Well, this is the tail end.
Thank you. If we have no other comments, Joanne, I think we can just, again, we need to schedule a site visit, but we can't do that until John gets back, which is he coming back in like early August, or what is he
Yeah.
doing? Early August?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we could schedule it at our next meeting on August 12th, schedule the sidewalk.
Okay.
Would you like us to come back before the sidewalk with our beefed up analysis, or would you like to discuss that after the sidewalk?
So our next meeting being on the 12th, that's roughly 3 weeks. Do we think we got the beefed up analysis essentially by
I would
the
think.
9th, the 10th at least, so
I
that we
would
have
think,
time
'cause
to
that's a
review
couple
it?
of weeks.
Okay.
I would think so.
Does that seem okay, Joanne, you
That
think?
seems possible, Seth, doesn't it?
We can all collaborate. I actually had a question, if I may.
Sure.
After we have a draft that everybody is comfortable with, and I know you don't have that much prior precedence to be able to go by, how long would it be before you would actually opine to the planning board?
I think from a timing perspective, we have, geez, what was in the final? We have like a certain amount of time when we got to give information to the planning board, correct? I think it was,
I don't know that we have a specific amount of time. We like to get it to the planning board as soon as we can so that we're not holding them up.
The reason I ask, as I'm sure you're aware, they have their initial hearings scheduled for next week,
Yeah.
which I'm inclined to perhaps go and just outline things as I did, but then request a continuation. But I'd like a sense of, when you think you guys would be in a position to be able to discuss it with the planning board, to be able to suggest a date.
so we figure you get the conservation analysis back to us roughly the 10th, let's
Yeah.
say. Come to our next meeting on the 12th, schedule a site visit. That's at least that following Saturday, if not following Tuesday.
Yeah.
What does that put us into? Possibly the 17th? We'll need a little bit more time to draft our analysis.
So like immediately after Labor Day, kind of, probably?
I'm kind of thinking that may be okay, sometime, after Labor Day.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's kind of what I need to know.
I know you're the one that has to
That's
draft
right,
most of it, so,
I know, and I'm gonna be away the first 2 weeks of September.
okay.
Um,
So maybe towards the end of September,
Yeah, middle of September.
middle to
I'd say.
end of
Yeah,
September.
and I don't know what their meeting schedule is, I can talk to Mark about that. But okay, that gives me a sense of what I need to know.
Okay. And it all starts with the analysis getting back to us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
The sooner the better.
Yep.
Will that be posted on the website?
What?
Or will we, the public,
conservation
have
analysis?
access, or when will we have access to it?
What, for the recommendation or the analysis?
The analysis?
Well, they're all public record, so I think as soon as it's submitted, you have the ability to come in and ask for it.
Yeah.
It's a matter of public record.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Mark, I did have one more thing, sorry.
Yeah, okay. You got it.
I was gonna ask the applicant, they submitted a lot of information, data from like 2004, 2005, a big picture analysis that was done. Do you anticipate, I'm asking the Conservation Commission, do you anticipate that you will recognize that data as being current for today? Because it was a big part of the submission by
Yeah,
Joseph.
that was something that kind of stuck out to me too. I was not having been here when this all started.
Yeah.
Everything being dated 2003, 2004.
Well, we thought it was helpful that you should see it, that aspect of the site hasn't changed.
Really? I guess I would just,
No, it really hasn't. I mean, it was an analysis of the conservation value, which included the ecosystems that are present, the topography. I mean, those things haven't changed.
I think
Everybody
they
else comfortable with
have.
that?
I think they have. Since I've been going up there, that marshland at the top of the loop, that used to be a marsh, and now it's a full-fledged pond. I mean, it never dries out. And I see on these maps that it's kind of just being shown as not a body of water, but really it is.
Can you point out up here where you're talking about?
Well, you can see it, it's right
This
there.
right here?
This is,
Right at the peak of the.
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah, and that's, I don't know how old that
It's
area
actually on
is.
the cover of your conservation analysis there, there's a photograph of it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's a, there's a stream that runs from that down into Long Pond.
No, that's correct, and that's identified on the plans.
Yeah, this all connects,
Appropriately.
right?
Yeah, and that,
No, from over to Long Pond.
Yeah,
right.
Yes,
That's right.
But I'm
yes.
just saying it connects all three,
yeah,
right?
and that actually has been that way. I've been working on this site since 1987, and I can tell you that those features were present 35 years ago. They haven't changed. They're wetlands and streams.
Right, but what I'm saying is that, for instance, that wetland that used to be, have dead trees stand in it and be marshy is now a full-fledged pond.
Right, either way though, it still counts as wetland.
Right.
Whether it's got standing water or
Yeah.
it's got mud and dead trees and wetland vegetation, so.
Bonnie Tillotson, 15 Oak Ridge Drive. I think what Annie's trying to express is that the hydrology of the area, especially on the upper, the upper part of that parcel has changed. And I think, does the hydrology, does the current hydrology match the past hydrology? And I think that's the question, right? And how much, if it's changed, how much has it changed? And then has the change affected more of the downstream areas, leading into Sandy Pond? Because as you know, right, that whole area is ledge. And, water, filtrates differently through, ledge areas, right?
Sure.
Compared to sandy, sandy soil areas.
Right.
Right?
Mark, I'm sorry, I know this is a great conversation, but we do have to move on. We're almost at time for the meeting.
All right, yep. Thank you, Jen. So I guess just, George, any comments and needing to update anything else?
I'm okay.
Okay. Jen, any comments on needing refreshing of anything? No?
No.
Okay. Joanne, your recommendation, please?
My recommend,
Sorry.
I know you're in a rush to wrap up, but I was wondering if I could just raise a couple
and
of
why don't you come up to the, we really
Yeah.
all need to come up to the
If you can-
microphone.
Very quick and brief, I'd appreciate it, thank you.
Yep. So I just wanted to check.
Name first.
Ann Gagnon, Mass Department of Fish and Game. And I was just wondering if you guys have done any analysis as to whether you'll have to file with MEPA? And if you-
We actually have to do a notice of project change. There has been a full NEPA review. We have to do a notice of project change. We also have discussed the existing CMP with Natural Heritage, and that'll have to be amended.
And I was also wondering if the wetland boundaries have already been approved by the Conservation Commission?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Issued an ORAD last summer.
Okay, all right.
Right, and that's one of the things that needs to show on the conservation analysis.
Okay, and that's just about it. I was surprised that you didn't mention Mass Department of Fish and Game as
Right,
a
and you're at the top of my list, and that's
open
why I left it off.
as a potential open space holder.
Well, yeah, which it would
But
make
I
a great deal of sense.
Yes, you did.
You did, and forgive me, Ann,
Okay,
because we actually
I
have
just-
discussed this before, so I
exactly, and
apologize.
so that's why I wanted to
Yeah,
make sure
but it
that
can
I
be
didn't
anybody.
misunderstand.
Yeah, it can be anybody.
Okay.
It's up to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Dave has no
Thank you.
preference,
Thank you, Ann.
but thank you, Ann, and I'm sorry.
All right, so again, thank you, we appreciate you guys coming in. We sound like,
Yeah, so when do you want to
any
see
last
us
clarification
next?
before?
I'd say probably the next meeting.
Yeah.
August 12th?
The
August
12th, our
12th.
next meeting, so yeah.
Just perfect, so we'll endeavor to get you the stuff that you would like to review by the 9th, which would be the prior week?
Same week,
Same week?
but again, as I said, if you can do it
Yeah.
earlier, we'd much appreciate it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, folks, we appreciate it.
What's the cell phone number?
For 508.
Seeing how they revised
Very hard
when we did a sidewalk to find you
at the office.
Not in there much.
I know that.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much. So we'll want to.
Can I show you?
Bye.
No. I'm trying to help with your secret.
Oh,
Don't go everything I see.
No, but we really ought to, like, spend half a day, honestly. It is
So it's not, it's definitely not a Tuesday night.
definitely not a Tuesday night.
All right.
We have 9 minutes left in the meeting.
Really good that.
Well, thank you.
Thanks,
The voice from over there.
That only went over by 30 minutes from what we had allotted.
Well, that's pretty good.
It can go over a little if necessity.
I'm sorry,
Just a little.
I'm really bad at this. I didn't see
You're
this.
great.
I didn't see this, but maybe I was.
I was like wild in the background, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It was a good conversation. I didn't mean to interrupt them, but.
Okay, all right, so we switched to Calvin, we did the brochure mailing. Fertilizer use bylaw, anything you want to say about that?
Well, Jen's gone through it. What I propose is the two of us, by next week, come up with a draft that we can send everybody.
Okay,
And I'd say, like, you wanted to cut out the findings at the beginning. And I think we leave them in on the draft and see what everybody weighs in on and stuff like that. But so, we'll go through, Jen and I will coordinate and come up with another draft that then will get circulated. And my idea, and I think we'll also circulate it to PACE, people of Ayer concerned about the environment. And
that's a great idea.
A couple other people that might have particular comments. And then we'll have a good discussion of it on August 12th. With the idea of having an amended draft after that that goes to town council and a public hearing then in September, sometime. The end of September probably when you're back.
Yeah.
okay.
So, but we'll try to get, we'll need to get that draft out, hopefully this coming week. If you and I, so we can talk.
Okay.
Okay, trade you a canoe ride.
Why not?
I'll trade you a canoe ride. We can go out in the middle of Sandy Pond and edit.
Oh, that sounds nice.
The edits weren't bad at all. It looked bad because I was moving stuff around.
Yes, and I have to now compare the two. Yeah. Just see, what did she do? Where did she do? Then
That sounds
the
good.
one question we could say, there is that setting a period of time when we put an exclusion on you over the winter of using fertilizers at all. The state is December to March, but a lot of other towns in Massachusetts have done sometime in October into April. Jen, you were suggesting maybe September. I think that might push it too much. Because we don't really get frozen ground in September, and a lot of people are starting lawns, putting down their seed for the spring in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only reason I suggested a little bit, and I thought even earlier in October, not necessarily September, is because when I looked online, they said the average first frost was like mid to late September.
Yeah.
Thought even maybe a little bit earlier in October, but October 15th, which I think is something that towns had, was fine. I was using that like first frost date to kind of utilize.
Right, so we'll put a date range in that we would like, and then it'll be, everybody can play with.
I can already December 1st. Just knowing many times you've got, trick-or-treaters are out, either they're bundled up or, they're out
In their shorts.
with shorts,
Right.
yeah, so
Yeah.
just knowing how the weather can vary quite a bit, if we can extend that growing time, I'd probably be more in favor of like a November 1, more than likely, at least from a starting point.
Yeah.
So just FYI.
So that's where we can arm wrestle.
So we're canoeing over this, we're arm wrestling over this. This is a very physical bylaw.
It
But
is.
it's to make up for those of us who no longer go to the gym because of the pandemic.
Right.
So, gotta make up for it somewhere.
Yes.
All right, well, awesome, and thanks for keeping that going. I've got minor activities, is that a 0-minute item?
That's a 0-minute item.
And we have, 3 minutes for office updates?
Yeah, I bet I can do it in 3 minutes.
4 minutes.
4, wow. So, the office updates include, here I'm gonna turn my back so it's not facing Jen.
Thank you.
I saw Jeff Thomas from Parks the other day. They've gotten a good start on their hand pulling of the weeds over by the Sandy Pond swimming area. He himself is gonna hand pull the cattails and deliver them to our chairman. He couldn't remember who wanted the cattails, so
Yeah.
they'll get that sorted out. We did receive the Neshoba Associated Boards of Health emergency beaver permit for the Shaker Mill Pond beaver removal 2 days ago. We talked to Robert about the office stuff. We also mentioned to him the situation with the Bulge Pond dam flashboards.
Boards, yeah.
And he said that he would take care of letting the fire department know that that was going to continue to be their responsibility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I told you about the Ayer Solar 2B pre-construction meeting. That was very good. It's always good to meet the actual contractor who's going to be doing the site work.
The construct, yeah.
And he seems to understand that the conservation issues are serious and that we take them seriously. And even though he was about 4 feet taller than I was, he seemed to understand that calling me when something happened was a much better idea than having me find out something had happened.
Or having somebody else call you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he seemed like he's going to be a good person for the project and responsible.
Yeah, it might be worthwhile to remind him that Ken Biston lives like right behind him.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a bad idea at all. And the really interesting thing we have to talk about is the notices of intent for Panther Place that I've just heaped on you.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 2 notices for the 2 A&R lots out on Washington Street, and those seem fine. But the other notice, the 3rd one, which is the big unfolded plan, is for the whole subdivision.
That doesn't work.
No, and our regulations clearly say that an applicant can submit a waiver request with the notice, but they didn't.
But they're going to be, here's what I was confused at, that they're going to be submitting more NOIs?
No,
It's just these 3?
let's see that big plan and I'll show you what they're.
Because I thought you said they were going to be doing more down the road.
Yeah, but what they want to do is get 1 order of conditions for all of these lots. They want one order of conditions for the road and the stormwater and all of the lots that have.
So what would any future NOIs be for?
I don't think they're anticipating any future, what
So
Joe
then
was
that's,
saying.
then they need a waiver.
Yes, they totally need a waiver.
I thought you said earlier they were turning in a total of 10, but they've turned in 3 now.
Right, because I hadn't looked at this one when they dropped off the mound of
So
paper
they're not
yesterday.
turning in a total of 10, they're only turning in a total of 3.
Right.
And these are the 3.
Except maybe they really do need to turn in a total of 10.
Right, but I was just getting it straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I've done so much talking today, I don't know who I've said to what, but what I've said to who. I have a letter drafted to Oxbow saying, please look at our regulations. If you want to do one order, you're going to have to ask for a waiver, and it's at the sole discretion of the commission. So I think I'm looking for guidance from you all about whether to send that email or not, or if you want to just wait till they come in on the 12th to say, oh, where's your waiver? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
And that they should be prepared to elaborate how much work is being done on each lot.
Yes.
And that, because we can't do a blanket waiver.
Yeah.
How much are you planning?
Yeah.
Send
I
the
guess what
letter.
makes them think that only A and B lots need a separate NOI?
Oh, because they're not part of the subdivision.
Yeah.
They are outside the, they're A and R lots. They're,
Yeah.
Send them a copy of the regulations, or at least the section.
Yeah, yep.
So they have to make a case for why we should grant a waiver being specific to each lot.
Yeah.
And then we say what we say.
Well, grant a waiver in lieu of an NOI for each lot. Is that what you mean to say?
Yeah, I think we'd have to do a waiver for each lot. Because what we're trying to avoid is, like we had at Nashua Street Extension, or Pleasant Street. Pleasant Street, Trevor Trail, remember George? We had that one, it never went through, but there was one lot that needed to separate itself from the whole, because the guy wanted to do something very different than what was approved. And we had to, and that was a whole quagmire.
Oh gosh, it was
getting
a
it
total
separated.
quagmire. Yeah.
So that's what we
that
want to
could be-
avoid.
That could envision, or you could envision that happening here. basically.
Potentially, yeah, well, I mean, I think that's.
Especially with the number of lots
yeah.
that are gonna be there, I think.
I mean, developers will want to go the cheapest route, like do an NOI that covers a lot. If there's a good reason for that, like each lot has got like 10 feet of backyard at the very fringe of buffer zone and that's it, then that's one thing. But if it's going to be some more substantial work, then it's like, it should be its own NOI.
Right,
Infrastructure should be separate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for road
infrastructure.
and Utilities,
Yeah, so even regardless, the infrastructure should be separate from, they should have been turning in at least minimum 4. Good point.
yeah, so that, yeah, definitely let them know that.
Yeah. Yep, so I need to get the legal ad in pretty soon.
Can you hear us, Jen?
Not really, kind of bits and pieces, but I got the impression that, and I'm hoping that this is the case, this is what I feel like, that they should not be doing that, right? It should be one per lot.
Yeah.
Basically, yes, and we were just saying, George was clarifying one for the infrastructure too, so the road and the utilities should have their own NOI.
Perfect, yeah. Judging by what happened around here, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Cool. And it's 9:05.
Yes, I just noticed that, so.
So you would do the NOI, the legal ads for the 2 A&R lots for next meeting.
I can do that very
And
easily.
say that
Yeah.
they have to give us more, and we're going to have a busy meeting next one
I
anyways.
know,
So,
it's now, we just completely filled up the next meeting.
right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So just do the legal ad for the two A&Rs. Okay.
Yeah, because we're gonna have, Dan's gonna be back.
Yeah.
Stratton Hill will be back.
Yeah.
We'll have these two.
Yeah. We also have, there are two other things on the whiteboard.
And the bylaw, fertilizer bylaw.
Yep. And whatever's on the whiteboard, which I can't even remember, but there is something else on the whiteboard.
Okay. All right.
So the office updates that were on,
907, Jen?
906.
906.
let's see, so I talked to Robert briefly today. He and John went and visited our piece of land on Old Sandy Pond, possibly looking at a boardwalk. And I think the thought was that it was too long. But I said to Robert, that's a really good quality in a boardwalk.
That's what a boardwalk is
It's
supposed to be.
and he was like, oh, okay. So he wants to get together with Dan and try to price that out.
Our Dan, this Dan?
Our Dan,
Okay.
yeah. Cantor Place, and so the last thing is we still haven't heard back from town council about their crafting a response to DEP on our Hillier appeal, where we feel like we didn't really get a chance to say anything during the analyst's site visit. So I've got to follow up with them to see where they are on that.
Question. Does DEP usually take this long to respond to an appeal?
I don't know. They responded much quickly to the other appeal that we had. But I know they are 60% busier than they usually are. So they have my sympathy. Yeah. So that's all I have for updates.
All right, thank you. Anybody, anything quick, or are we ready to make a motion?
We had talked a while back about having additional signs to go along with our
Yes.
NOIs.
Yes.
So we probably want to have that all worked out before we issue the conditions.
Yes. I think I even laid out, somewhere I have I won't call it a design, but I have an idea of what I call George's signs. Yeah.
Anything else, Jen? Yes?
I'm good.
Jen, any updates?
Nope,
No?
nothing
All right.
exciting.
So do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.